Hey guys, it's Raquel. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a Dolly introduction video, and today's Dolly introduction is Zero. This is one of my larger boys. He is an SD size doll, so he is a very tall boy, as you can see. He is, I believe, and I have it noted here, an Angel Fantasy Jin. He is discontinued. His sculpt is discontinued. So here he is. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see. His eyes are beautiful. I'm also going to try to just do that a little bit just so you can see him a little better. Because I know that the light can be a little too powerful. So that's what he looks like. He's got silver hair and one of those attitudes of I don't give a fuck, I don't like everybody type of things. And he is modeled after, and when I say model after, he's been inspired by Vampire Knight, Zero from Vampire Knight. That's why he has the name Zero, who is a vampire hunter, and he's all grumpy gills and stuff like that for various different reasons. My Zero is a hunter, but he is not just a hunter of vampires. He's a hunter of like a bunch of other creatures, and he's a big giant grumpy gills as well. He does not like any type of creature that isn't, human. He hunts down any type of creature without hesitation, and he all in all, he just like goes in, does his job, gets out, and doesn't really have a social life outside of outside of hunting. He has a duo. So he's one of my boys that has a duo, and his duo is back there. If you could guess his name, I'll give you brownie points from the same series. And his duo is obviously a creature, and he's not fond of him, and it's a mega rivals type of thing. Like they hate each other. It's great. There is technically no romance between them. It's mostly literally just pure hatred and I don't like you, I don't like you either type of energy. But it's how people ship the characters that they're inspired by together. So sometimes they give off the vibes of like, oh, they like each other, but they really don't. Um, they they have a very tumultuous relationship, and they both have technically significant others. I have yet to create their significant others in doll form. Who knows? Maybe one of the new girls can take that spot. But as of right now, it's just the two of them, and he is very much antisocial, and he's just such a big meanie. He is a big meanie. He is cut dry, bold, says it as it is, doesn't care if he hurts your feelings, and it's just overall he's literally the coldest person you'll meet, and you'll just call him a dick every single time. But he does have a soft side. He does. All my characters have, if they're gonna be that much of an asshole, they always do have a soft side. And his soft side particularly is with the person that he is with, but unfortunately, again, don't have a doll for her yet, so I'm just gonna not mention any details about her until I get around to making her. But yeah, right now he is not dressed for hunting. Maybe his pants will stay, but this is kind of just something I put him in because I don't have a lot of big boy clothing, and I also have very particular ideas in mind, and I just haven't gotten around to creating them yet and making them. So you'll see a theme of all the boys in the back row over there having Christmas hats on, and that's because these are the boys that were front and center at my old place, and I made sure they all had Christmas hats for Christmas, and I have not taken them off yet. So the Christmas hat is not part of his aesthetic and his outfit, but he was really reluctant to wear it, but he did. And his shirt is just a plain shirt that I put on him just to have him in something. Now, he is a very shiny boy. Like, if you lift up his shirt, like, I don't know if you guys can see because the light's so thin, but he is shiny. He's also got really nice abs. But he's super shiny and super slippery, so if you don't hold him in a certain way, he will literally just start sliding all over the place. Clothing also tends to ride up on him and or ride down because of how shiny his body is and how easily things slip on and off. Which is crazy because like there is literally no sand lines on this boy at all. Which is crazy. In my head. It's crazy. He is without sand lines. That's how shiny and like just well made he is. He's solid. Like he is really solid. Um his sculpt, I don't remember in terms of what year his sculpt was created or when it was discontinued, but in general, his body is not greatly made. His feet are very plain, where his hands are a little plain too. Not a lot of detail in the joints in the hands, and his abs, they're nice, but they're not. There's no real big detail to him. I think it's because he is an older, his body is an older sculpt as well. But I don't mind. I really like him. I love the fact that he's discontinued because that's a big collector thing for me. Is anything that's discontinued or limited edition. I do love collecting that type of stuff. In general. So with my dolls, obviously it'd be the same, and he is just he's perfect. I just really need to sit down at some point, like with all the dolls that you'll meet and you'll continue to meet, and like get him to where I imagine him to be in my head. And that's gonna take me forever because I have so many freaking dolls, but that's okay. For the time being, he is going to be perfect. So yeah, that is Zero. I know there's not much about him. I also did his face up myself. It's very, very plain, and he does have that very, very angry boy look because his face up when he came to me was, no offense to the previous owner, horrible. I did not like it at all, so I redid his entire face up. I don't know if you guys can see, but like his face up is very, very simplistic. Got a little eyebrow there. And yeah, so he's really plain. He was like I think my first face up I ever did too, aside from Lily. Lily I think was my first, and then I think Zero was the second one I ever did. So I obviously no practice face up, but I think I did a pretty good job, all things considered. And he actually, him and his partner over there, they were the very first dolls I ever got overseas, in terms of like not from directly from a company, because they were like, yeah, actually I have every doll that I own written down on these like cards, so I would remember what dolls are which and like what their sculpts are and stuff, and all the other dolls beforehand are directly from the company, so it would be Lily and Anastasia up there, my vampire child, and then Farron, my demon boy, and Kyoko, who I got from Friends. So Farron and Kyoko were both from Friends. So this was my very, very first purchase secondhand overseas. He and his buddy over there came as a pair. That's why I ended up getting them both. Was they were selling them just as a pair, and they were coming from Singapore, and I think that's why I was so confident about some of the other dolls that I got overseas, is because even though their boxes were like dented and like they weren't wrapped up the greatest, they did come in one piece, and it was a really pleasant transaction between me and the secondhand seller. So this boy right here, actually, not even him, not even him, this boy right here, his look and looking like Zero from Vampire Knight, this is what made me buy secondhand for the very first time. So, especially since we had that secondhand conversation earlier in the month, it kind of actually worked really well. Like, I had that conversation, and now you get to see the very first secondhand doll I ever purchased. In terms of overseas secondhand doll purchase, not in person, because obviously we've already covered that. But yeah, I love him still. I can't wait to get him looking spiffy. I definitely want to create his like an outfit like the one that he has in the show. So he has kind of like a Halloween costume of who he was inspired by, and then I want to make him an outfit or a couple different outfits of what his hunter gear looks like and what he would wear every day on the job doing his hunter job. So that is something to look forward to at some point. And I want to flesh out his story a little bit more because there is a lot of ties to his inspiration, which is Zero from Vampire Knight. So I want to branch out a little bit and kind of create more of a story around him. But his name is gonna stay. Like, his name is Zero. It's not changing. I don't care. Like, I love that show. I still love the show even after all these years, and he is inspired by him, so he's gonna keep the name. But I want to work on his outfit, and I want to work on his biography, his story a little bit, and maybe I may work on his face up. I don't think I will, but it was one of the first face ups I did, so I may want to revisit it. I'm not entirely sure yet, but that's to be decided later on and for later videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions for Zero, let me know, and I will answer them as he would, because I can definitely tell you what he thinks if you have any questions about him or in general about how I got him and stuff like that. And as always, my friends and family, I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye!